Wreath bearers, post. The wreath bearers represent the respective branches of service and community organizations. They represent the United States Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, Space Force, Coast Guard, Merchant Marines, and first responders. First, we have a wreath bearer to represent the prisoners of war and those missing in action. Honor Guard, post. The Honor Guard consists of veterans from the AMVETS unit from Swartz Creek, Michigan, and led by Captain Charlie Burnett. The Honor Guard will offer a salute to our fallen servicemen in the ceremony. Color Guard, post. The JRTC Color Guard represents the Genesee Career Institute Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps Battalion and their state champion drill, raider, and rifle teams. The Genesee Army JROTC program offers leadership training to students, and their mission statement is to motivate young people to be better citizens. Cadet Brooklyn Kovac is today's Color Sergeant, and also in the Color Guard are Cadets Jacqueline Tawarnicki, Oren Fabilla, and Eden Eisenbeiss.
Thank you, Cadet Babenko.
March on. March. Hold on. Hold. Left. Face.
Thank you for all joining us here today. This year across the country and more than 3,600 participating locations like this one, there are millions of Americans gathering as one nation to remember, honor, and teach. We are all proud to be Americans that live in a free society made up of many people from many walks of life. The freedoms we enjoy today have not come without a price. Lying here before us and in cemeteries throughout this nation are men and women who gave their lives so that we could enjoy freedom and live without fear. We can worship as we see fit. We can raise our children to believe as we do. We are free to vote for the leaders of our choosing, and we have the right to succeed, and we have the right to fail at whatever endeavor we wish to pursue. The United States of America was founded on the ideals of freedom, justice, and equality. Our nation stands as a shining beacon of liberty and freedom to the world. We thank those who gave their lives to keep us free, and we shall not forget you. We shall remember. Today, more than ever, we reflect on our nation's veterans and active duty service members who have had and continue to fight to protect the innocent and oppressed. This nation has always been the first to stand up for the freedom of people around the world. Many of you here today have answered that call and served your country. For this, we say thank you, and we are honored to have you here today. There are many men and women serving today in all branches of the military, here at home and in places far away that most of us have never heard of. Sorry, guys. We honor them and their families for their sacrifices. They make each day to keep our country safe from terrorism, hatred, and injustice. Quoting our 40th United States President, Ronald Reagan, freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it on to our children through the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same, or one day we will spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it was once like in the United States where men were free. Ladies and gentlemen, please place your hand on your heart and honor our nation by joining me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, with liberty and justice for all. Today, we show a united front of gratitude and respect across the United States of America. Sorry. As we remember the fallen, honor those who serve and their families, and teach the next generation the value of freedom. We will now have our presenters place a wreath to honor those that have or are serving. Corey Timus. I have to mention I've known Corey since he's a young boy. I had the opportunity to coach him in Little League football. I'm so proud for him to be here today. Corey, please lay a veteran's wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Army. Zach Edmonds, please lay a veteran's wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Marine Corps. Petty Officer 2nd Class John Williams, please lay a veteran's wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Navy. Staff Sergeant Josh Harmon and Senior Airman James Bretz, please lay a veteran's wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Air Force. Cadet Sergeant 1st Class Justin Brown, please lay a veteran's wreath in honor of those who are serving in the United States Space Force. Chief Petty Officer Todd Mano, please lay a veteran's wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Coast Guard. Cadet Captain Jacob Schweigert, please lay a veteran's wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Merchant Marines. Matthew J. Weil, Assistant Fire Chief, North Oakland County Fire Authority, please lay a veteran's wreath in memory of those who served and are serving as first responders, police, and firemen. Debbie McLean and Maura Brady, please lay a veteran's wreath in honor of the 93,129 United States servicemen from all branches of the service whose last known status was either prisoners of war or missing in action. These individuals have never returned to their families and homes. We shall not forget you. Please join me in a moment of silence to remember the fallen prisoners of war, those missing in action, and honor those who have served and are serving in this great nation's armed services.
I got it, man. What? Short arm. Left face.
Freeze that. Arms.
Aim. Fire. Aim. Fire. Aim. Fire.
Order, arms.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our guest speakers today. We have U.S. Congresswoman Lisa McClain, a member of the Armed Services Committee, and Michigan State Senator Lana Tice. Congressman Lisa McClain is serving her first term representing Michigan's 10th Congressional District, which includes this location, the Great Lakes National Cemetery. Prior to serving in Congress, Lisa spent more than 30 years in the business world. Congressman?
Oh, thank you. And I see the sun is parted and is shining upon us today. So good morning, everyone, and thank you all for inviting me to be a part of such a special event today. Wreaths Across America is a sacred tradition in our country that dates back to the early 2000s. Every year, thousands of volunteers place wreaths on the graves of our nation's veterans. This year, there will be volunteers at over 3,400 cemeteries across this country. I'm proud to be here at one of these cemeteries to take part in this great tradition alongside all of you. And by being here today, we are able to remember and honor some of America's greatest heroes. The service members who are buried around us fought bravely on behalf of our country. They defended our freedoms and risked their lives to protect us. Their sacrifices are the reason we live in the greatest country on earth, and we should always hold that near and dear to our hearts. Here at the Great Lakes National Cemetery, the men and women laid to rest come from different wars and different backgrounds. There's a Medal of Honor recipient buried here, as well as soldiers from World War II, the Korean War, Vietnam, the Gulf War, and even the War on Terror. All of them deserve to be honored, and that is exactly what we are here to do today. So as you place the wreath at each headstone, pause for a moment to thank that soldier for the courage and their remarkable service. Read their name and think about their remarkable life they lived before finding rest in this beautiful place. By doing this, we will truly honor the heroes who lay before us. And let me say thank you to everyone here for coming together and remember our nation's veterans that have passed away. May they never be forgotten. Thank you. God bless you, and God bless America.
State Senator Lana Tice represents the 22nd State District and serves as Assistant President Pro Tempore of the Michigan Senate. Prior to the election, she served as the Brighton Township Treasurer from 2008 to 2014. Senator?
Thank you, and thank you for inviting me here. My husband served in the Navy, and my heart is with everyone who has served and who has lost people in that service. Those who fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it. That quote wasn't originally with Winston Churchill, but he used it. In order to learn from history, we have to remember the truth and honor those who gave everything. The mission of Wreaths Across America, to remember our fallen U.S. veterans, to honor those who serve, and to teach our children the value of freedom. When I think of these ideas together, I struggle to think of a more noble purpose. In a time when the monuments of our history are being torn down and there's a desire to rewrite our history, we are in danger of that historical repetition for lack of knowledge. The people who made us free, who kept us free, deserve to be remembered and honored, especially at this time. Wreaths Across America volunteers will place well over 1 million wreaths in 3,600 locations. That means there are 3,600 locations with gravestones like this. There are probably well more than that, but at least that many. That breaks my heart, but causes me to want to make sure that we remember. Thank you each for being here, partnering with organizations that help us to remember, to honor, and teach about our heroes who made and then kept us free. If you're here with us today, know that you're doing that. Please don't let it stop here. Work to make sure that your children and grandchildren are learning about the depth of their sacrifice. Learn and then tell the stories of those who were lost. During President Reagan's first inaugural address, he told the story of one such hero. His name was Martin Treptow. In 1917, he left his job in a small-town barbershop to go to France with the famed Rainbow Division. There he was killed trying to carry a message between battalions under heavy artillery fire in the Western Front. We're told that on his body was found a diary. At the beginning, there was a heading labeled My Pledge, where he had written these words: America must win this war. Therefore, I will work, I will save, I will sacrifice, I will endure, I will fight cheerfully and do my utmost as if the issue of the whole struggle depended upon me alone. This story speaks to the character of our heroes and the cost of our freedom. These are the stories that our children need to know in order to understand the value of the gift that they have been given. With gratitude to our heroes, I want to thank you again for your participation in Wreaths Across America, and thank all those who helped to make this event happen. And I especially want to thank all the warriors and their Gold Star families who gave everything so that we may live in freedom. Thank you.
Remember, we are not here today to decorate graves. We are here to remember not their deaths either, but their lives. Each wreath is a gift of appreciation from a grateful America. These live balsam fir wreaths symbolize our honor to those who have served and are serving in the armed forces of our great nation, and to their families who endure sacrifices every day on our behalf. To our children, we want you to understand that the freedoms you enjoy today have not been free but come with a cost that someday you may have to pay yourself. As a nation standing together, we can defeat terrorism, hatred, and injustice. Thanks to our veterans, we have freedom to do just that. Ladies and gentlemen, please honor our nation as the Color Guard retires the national colors.
Gary, colors. Right face. Forward march.
Ladies and gentlemen, we dedicate this ceremony to the fallen service members who lie at the rest of the Great Lakes National Cemetery. Without their sacrifice, we could not enjoy freedom of this great nation. One last thing, the procession of trucks is going to be coming down the road. If we could just stay clear of that when they come in, and then at the end when the buses leave. That concludes the ceremony. Thank you for coming.